Around 99 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous period, an absolute titan of the dinosaur world roamed the swamps and waterways of northern Africa. This was none other than the Spinosaurus, one of the largest theropods to ever exist. With its sail-like back and aquatic adaptations, it has captivated scientists and dinosaur enthusiasts alike. Its fame skyrocketed, thanks to pop culture appearances that solidified it as one of the most recognized predators in history. But here's something people often overlook. Spinosaurus was not the sole ruler of its domain. It shared its territory with other formidable carnivores. And astonishingly, it was not the only apex predator. Another massive and terrifying theropod prowled the same lands, hunting its prey with a ferocity that earned it the chilling nickname, the giant terrestrial shark. This was the Carcharodontosaurus. If you are a dinosaur enthusiast, you might already recognize the name. Over the past decade, this incredible predator has been gaining the recognition it deserves. However, paleontologists have known about this beast for much longer. Its discovery dates all the way back to 1914, when a German paleontologist unearthed a partial skeleton in Egypt. At the time, the region was fraught with political tension, delaying its shipment to Germany until 1922. Even then, the skeleton sat untouched for years before it was finally described by Ernst Stromer in 1931. Stromer identified it as an entirely new species and genus, bestowing it with the name Carcharodontosaurus saharicus. The name itself is a fascinating story. The species name saharicus honors the Saharan desert region where its remains were found. The genus name, however, is where things get interesting. Carcharodontosaurus translates to shark-toothed lizard, a reference to its teeth, which closely resembled those of a great white shark. Just imagine, razor-sharp teeth capable of shredding flesh with deadly efficiency, much like a modern-day predator of the seas. But the teeth were not the only feature that made this dinosaur stand out. This ancient giant was built for domination. Paleontologists quickly recognized that Carcharodontosaurus was unlike your average theropod. It had unique physical traits that set it apart. But unfortunately, World War II interrupted further study. The original skeleton was tragically destroyed during an air raid on Munich, a devastating loss to the scientific community. Thankfully, paleontology did not stop there. Over the years, more fossilized remains have been uncovered, allowing scientists to piece together the incredible story of this predator. What they found was nothing short of extraordinary. Carcharodontosaurus was not just big, it was colossal. Measuring up to 13 meters in length, this theropod was one of the largest carnivores to have ever walked the earth. Its massive frame, paired with its shark-like teeth, made it a near unstoppable hunter. Yet, not all Carcharodontosaurus species shared this colossal size. In 2007, paleontologists described a smaller relative, Carcharodontosaurus iguadensis. Though roughly the size of a Gorgosaurus, it was still an impressive predator in its own right, showcasing the incredible diversity of this genus. So, what was it about Carcharodontosaurus that made it such a fearsome competitor to the legendary Spinosaurus? To truly understand this rivalry, we need to dive deeper into its adaptations, hunting strategies, and the unique environment of Cretaceous northern Africa. The battle for dominance in this prehistoric world was far more complex and exciting than you might think. While Carcharodontosaurus iguadensis was an impressive predator, its size did not place it among the largest theropods. The original species, Carcharodontosaurus saharicus, however, achieved truly monumental proportions. Based on the fossil evidence, paleontologists estimate that fully grown adults could have reached an astonishing 12.5 meters in length, which is about 41 feet. Imagine a creature longer than a school bus, with a hip height that towered at 3.6 meters, or 12 feet, roughly the height of a two-story building. But that is not the full story. Researchers believe that some exceptional individuals may have grown even larger, surpassing 13 meters, or 43 feet, from snout to tail. At this size, Carcharodontosaurus was not just long, but incredibly heavy, weighing over 6 metric tons. For context, that is 88 times heavier than the average human. This immense size places Carcharodontosaurus among the titans of the dinosaur world. It is recognized as the 5th largest theropod ever discovered, and by extension, the 5th largest terrestrial carnivore to have ever lived. That is a truly remarkable achievement when you consider the competition among prehistoric predators. Yet, size alone does not tell the full tale of why this dinosaur was such an efficient and terrifying hunter. In fact, its true weapon may not have been its imposing stature, but its jaw-dropping bite. Quite literally. The jaws of Carcharodontosaurus were lined with 62 long, razor-sharp teeth that were uniquely designed for one purpose: cutting through flesh with devastating precision. Each tooth was serrated like the blade of a steak knife, with approximately 20 serrations per centimeter, or about 8 serrations per tenth of an inch. These teeth closely resembled those of a great white shark, enabling Carcharodontosaurus to shear off massive chunks of meat from its prey. Now imagine those serrated blades sinking into the side of a dinosaur. It is not hard to see why this predator was feared across its ecosystem. And the jaws that housed these terrifying teeth were no less impressive. The largest known skull of Carcharodontosaurus rivals the size of the biggest Tyrannosaurus rex skulls, measuring around 1.6 meters, or 5.2 feet in length. That is nearly as long as an average adult human is tall. However, there was a key difference between the skulls of these two giants. While T-Rex relied on its incredibly powerful crushing bite to pulverize bones, Carcharodontosaurus employed a different strategy. Its skull was much lighter, built for agility and efficiency. Instead of crushing its prey, this predator used its serrated teeth to deliver lighter but more precise bites. These bites tore through flesh and caused severe blood loss, incapacitating its prey over time. Do not mistake lighter for weak, though. The bite force of Carcharodontosaurus was anything but gentle. At its peak, this dinosaur could exert over 25,000 newtons of force. To put that into perspective, this is 39% stronger than the bite of a modern-day great white shark. This immense power was more than enough to slice through soft tissue with ease. However, it likely avoided biting directly into bones, as its lighter skull was not adapted for such impacts. Even so, its feeding style was far from clean or tidy. The process of hunting was gruesome and messy, as evidenced by an intriguing discovery made by paleontologists. Fossilized remains show that Carcharodontosaurus had one of the highest tooth replacement rates among theropods. This suggests that its teeth frequently became lodged in the flesh of its prey during attacks, and rather than retrieve them, the dinosaur simply replaced the lost teeth with new ones. This cycle of frequent tooth loss and replacement paints a vivid picture of how violent and chaotic its feeding behavior must have been. Each attack would leave behind a bloody trail, not just from the wounds inflicted but also from the serrated teeth it left embedded in its victims. This, combined with its incredible size and agility, made Carcharodontosaurus a nearly unstoppable force in its ecosystem. But what made the ecosystem of northern Africa during the late Cretaceous such a unique battleground for predators like Carcharodontosaurus and Spinosaurus? To understand that, we need to dive deeper into the environment that fostered these prehistoric giants and explore how they competed for survival in one of the most intense predator showdowns of all time. Research into the hunting strategies of Carcharodontosaurus reveals a predator that was not only massive but also cunning and efficient. Unlike some theropods that relied solely on brute strength, this dinosaur appeared to employ a clever approach to ambush hunting. Its vision played a crucial role in this strategy, as studies indicate that its eyesight was comparable to that of modern crocodiles. This similarity suggests that Carcharodontosaurus likely used motion parallax, a method where slight movements of the head allow predators to detect and judge the motion of nearby animals. Additionally, its narrow binocular vision helped it accurately judge distances, enabling it to perfectly time its attacks. Once it locked onto its prey, the Carcharodontosaurus used its powerful legs to launch a sudden and terrifying sprint, chasing down its target with lethal precision. However, its impressive vision and legs were just part of its arsenal. Another unique feature that set Carcharodontosaurus apart was located right on its skull, its distinctive crests. While these crests have puzzled paleontologists for decades, recent research suggests they may have served a combative purpose. It is now believed that these crests were used in headbutting contests, possibly during disputes over mates, territory, or food. Imagine two of these giant theropods locking heads, their massive bodies colliding in a prehistoric display of dominance. While not every fight would have ended in injury, fossil evidence suggests these clashes were far from rare. Despite its head being a treasure trove of predatory tools, Carcharodontosaurus had other surprising adaptations that cemented its status as an apex predator. One of its most overlooked assets was its arms. In popular culture, theropods, especially the larger ones, are often depicted as having small, nearly useless forelimbs. While this stereotype is fitting for some species, it does not hold true for Carcharodontosaurus. In life, its arms were slightly longer than those of Tyrannosaurus rex, and they were heavily muscled, designed for function and power. Paleontologists believe that these robust arms were crucial during hunts. They may have been used to grab onto struggling prey, preventing it from escaping, or even to lift smaller animals off the ground entirely. One study suggested that an adult Carcharodontosaurus could lift a half-ton dinosaur into the air, pulling it closer to its mouth for a final, devastating bite. Its hands, equipped with sharp, recurved claws on each finger, were likely used as slashing weapons. These claws could rip through flesh, adding yet another layer of lethality to this already fearsome predator. The combination of its incredible vision, muscular arms, razor-sharp teeth, and massive size made Carcharodontosaurus a true nightmare for anything unfortunate enough to cross its path. Yet this terrifying predator was not immune to danger itself. Fossil evidence has shown that even Carcharodontosaurus had its share of battles, some of them brutal. Numerous specimens have been found with injuries such as broken bones, puncture, marks, and even signs of severe infections. Many of these injuries were located on the skull, hinting at a violent life filled with territorial disputes or competition for resources. Some of the puncture wounds are thought to have been caused by face biting, a behavior seen in other theropods as well. Breaks in the skull, on the other hand, might have been inflicted during head-butting clashes, possibly involving the crests. However, since it is not entirely clear how durable these crests were, their role in causing skull fractures remains a topic of debate among paleontologists. What is certain, though, is that life for a Carcharodontosaurus was far from easy. Even as a top predator, it faced constant challenges, whether from rival theropods, its own kind, or the relentless demands of survival in a world filled with equally formidable creatures. And this raises an even bigger question. What kind of environment could support such a deadly array of predators, including the iconic Spinosaurus? While battles between Carcharodontosaurus individuals may have provided a momentary respite for the other creatures of its environment, these fierce predators didn't spend most of their time clashing with each other. Instead, the majority of their energy went into hunting, a fact that spelled doom for many of their contemporaries. Their diet, scientists believe, primarily consisted of a wide array of prey: towering sauropods, speedy ornithopods, smaller theropods, and even non-dinosaur animals were likely on the menu, making the Carcharodontosaurus a versatile and efficient predator. This ferocious appetite and its reputation as a relentless hunter solidified Carcharodontosaurus as one of the most fearsome members of its family. Its family name, Carcharodontosauridae, was actually derived from this dinosaur, emphasizing just how iconic and influential it was. This group of theropods included some of the largest and deadliest carnivores to ever roam the earth. Paleontologists define the Carcharodontosauridae family as encompassing all species more closely related to Carcharodontosaurus than to other. Notable theropods like Allosaurus, Cineraptor, Monolophosaurus, or Cryolophosaurus. Over time, many members of this group became remarkably successful, spreading across diverse regions and evolving into apex predators. The Carcharodontosaurus itself was no exception, as its fossil remains have been uncovered in multiple locations across North Africa, including Algeria, Morocco, Egypt, Niger, and Tunisia. These discoveries date its existence to between 99 and 94 million years ago, during the early stages of the late Cretaceous period. However, the world Carcharodontosaurus inhabited was drastically different from what we see in North Africa today. Instead of barren deserts, the land was blanketed in lush mangrove forests and sprawling wetlands. This thriving, water-rich environment created a veritable paradise for dinosaurs, teeming with life and biodiversity. The fossil record reveals that Carcharodontosaurus lived alongside an incredible array of species, sharing its home with massive sauropods like Egyptosaurus, Dicraeosaurus, Rabachisaurus, and Paralititan. Smaller herbivores, including ankylosaurs and ornithopods, also roamed these fertile lands, adding to the rich tapestry of prehistoric life. The Carcharodontosaurus wasn't alone in its predatory dominance either. It coexisted with a host of other formidable theropods, including the infamous Spinosaurus, Rugops, Deltadromeus, Sauroniops, Bahariosaurus, and several unidentified species. Surprisingly, many of these predators approached the Carcharodontosaurus in size, with Spinosaurus even surpassing it in sheer mass and length. This abundance of giant carnivores, paired with a variety of enormous sauropods, has led paleontologists to draw comparisons between North Africa's ecosystem and the Morrison Formation of North America, which is renowned for its densely populated dinosaur communities. With so many large predators sharing the same environment, competition for resources must have been intense. Scientists believe that niche partitioning, a process where species evolve to exploit different resources or habitats, likely played a crucial role in reducing direct conflict. For example, Spinosaurus is thought to have specialized in hunting aquatic prey like fish, while Carcharodontosaurus focused on terrestrial animals, particularly large herbivores. This division of resources would have allowed both species to thrive without constant clashes. Still, the occasional conflict would have been inevitable. When two giants like Carcharodontosaurus and Spinosaurus crossed paths, the outcome could have been devastating for both sides. Whether battling for territory, food, or dominance, these confrontations would have been rare but unforgettable spectacles in the ancient landscapes of North Africa. Just like the Morrison Formation in North America, the lands of ancient North Africa endured extensive dry seasons when resources became scarce. However, unlike the Morrison, where theropods are believed to have turned on each other during times of scarcity, the predators of North Africa seem to take a different approach. Rather than risking injury and brutal fights with their own kind, they often hunted non-dinosaur life forms. This strategy was viable thanks to North Africa's unparalleled biodiversity, which offered an abundance of alternative prey rarely seen in other Cretaceous ecosystems. The range of life thriving in these lush landscapes was astonishing. More than 10 species of pterosaurs soared through the skies, while amphibians thrived in the wetlands. The region was home to 5 known species of amphibians, 4 distinct turtles, 2 species of lizards, and 5 varieties of snakes slithering through the undergrowth. But the richness didn't stop there. Aquatic life flourished as well, with 20 types of cartilaginous fish, another 20 species of ray-finned fish, and 3 lobe-finned fish species gliding through the waters. Even the smaller life forms were plentiful. 17 types of crustaceans, 7 mollusks, and countless insects made up a thriving ecosystem. The evidence of these insects is clear from the damage preserved on ancient flora, which itself paints a vivid picture of the region's plant life. Ferns and conifers dominated the landscape, with ferns taking center stage. Remarkably, half of the plant species identified from this time were ferns, blanketing the land in green and forming the foundation of a complex food web. This rich variety of life made North Africa a true hotspot of biodiversity, an environment teeming with opportunity for predators like Carcharodontosaurus to thrive. For over 5 million years, the Carcharodontosaurus reigned supreme, leaving its mark on this vibrant land and its inhabitants. But even being the 5th largest terrestrial predator ever recorded was not enough to stave off the relentless march of time and the challenges posed by nature itself. Roughly 94 million years ago, this mighty predator vanished from the Earth. The exact cause of the Carcharodontosaurus extinction remains a mystery, but there are several plausible theories. Many experts believe that habitat loss played a significant role. As the lush mangroves and wetlands began to change, the specialized environment the Carcharodontosaurus relied on may have gradually disappeared. Others point to the decline of the massive sauropods that made up a significant portion of its diet. With its primary food supply dwindling, survival would have become increasingly difficult, eventually leading to its downfall. In the end, no amount of strength, size, or ferocity could protect the Carcharodontosaurus from the forces of nature and time. Its story, however, remains a testament to the incredible diversity and complexity of life that once existed in prehistoric North Africa. As we uncover more fossils and learn more about this fascinating predator, we continue to piece together the puzzle of its rise and fall, painting an ever clearer picture of a world long lost to history.